Today we'll just brief our English listeners on the certain issues we've been discussing, like the lost voters card, the nomination coming, and the security aspect. With Joe, welcome to the program, and can we just go to the program?
Yeah, thank you very much, Bernadette. We want to, as she has rightly said, we want to start with lost and farm cards. Because what happens is like calls have been received, a lot of calls have been received, at IEC Election House and our various offices, asking whether there's going to be transfer or replacement of cards or supplement. Now what happens is like we've made it abundantly clear that none of these exercises will take place. What the IEC did was to go around and collect these, collect lost cards. Now these cards are with our offices, and we have been emphasizing or relaying to the media for people whose cards are lost to go to our offices to check whether their cards are there. So this is just to inform the general public that there's not going to be any transfer or replacement of cards. So if your card is lost, please endeavor to go to the region office in the administrative area in which you are registered. I think this we can relay to the general public in the languages.
Before going that, tomorrow is the nomination. Yeah. What are some of the arrangements put in place for the nomination?
For the nomination, what happens is like we have already given an outline. But as I'm speaking to you, there is some modification. The modification is this. Like 14th, Thursday, we'll still expect the APRC candidates to file in their nominations, both mayor and the councillors for the 114 wards. But on the 15th, now on Friday, it was stipulated for NRP, but there's a change. Now NRP will come on the 16th. So what is going to happen now is all independent candidates who wish to be who wish to file in their nominations before the scheduled date, that's the 16th. They were earlier on scheduled for 16th. They can file in their nomination papers on the 15th. Yes, and then one thing I want to make abundantly clear is the nomination is for the 3 days. That's from Friday to from Thursday to Saturday. It doesn't mean that like maybe some people may have problems on Friday to file in their nominations. They can liaise with our returning officers so that they can stipulate another time. It doesn't necessarily mean that if you're scheduled for Thursday and you're late or you have some hiccups with your papers, that's it. No, the nomination is for 3 days. Why we're giving out this schedule is for convenience sake, because we don't want candidates from different parties, to meet at the office. But to say that, like, if you miss like Friday or you miss Thursday, you're not going to be nominated. No, the nomination runs for 3 days. But you make sure that, even if you miss Friday, for instance, you were scheduled for Friday, and you had to take care of certain your papers, don't miss Saturday, because nomination ends on Saturday at 4. So obviously at 4 o'clock on Saturday, we're going to close all nominations.
But what happens in case you have such problems? What should you do as an intended candidate?
What you should do is to liaise with the returning officer for your region. For instance, if you are in Brikama, the returning officer there is Mr. Suleiman Juf. You make sure that you liaise with him so that at least another time will be scheduled for you. Yes. But what we are trying to do is we don't want people to deliberately sit down. Like for instance, if you're scheduled for for Thursday, and all your papers are intact, I'm sure they have already liaised with our officers, and they've given them time. Because for instance, like you look at KMC, you have about 17 wards. So from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. To do all those, it takes time. So candidates also should stick to the time. If I told you you've been given 9 a.m., make sure you go 9. Because like if you waste time, it's going to be a problem. Because 17, like for instance, we're expecting mayor, of course, like AMC, they're going to have mayor. mayoral nomination, and then of course with the what? With the candidates, so that's about what? 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, from 8 to 4. So that's a time. So that's why, like, in fact, what happens is like we encourage candidates, we potential candidates to go to the office, to fill their forms, do all the paperwork before the nomination, to go to the office, so that their papers will be checked, and then so that like when you come the following day or anytime you come for nomination, it's just a question of going through and then just endorsing. Because for instance, if you have like 150 people nominating you, to go across all those things, verifying and all those things, your deposits and all these things, should be done well before. So that like when you come on the day, like tomorrow, 14th, is APRC. When you come filing your papers, it will not take time. Maybe 5-10 minutes, and then you give in acceptance, and then you move.
Mr. Koli, these candidates, they come with people, and what's the role of those people who are coming with them?
Yes, they just come to accompany them, and what happens is like there's a certain number, maybe 10 will be accepted, maybe they come back, but maybe 2 or 3 people should accompany the candidate inside the office, because like the office space is limited, so we don't want people to get overcrowded. But I think the security aspect will be dealt with by the superintendent, because I think arrangements have already made. So since he is the liaison, IC liaison security officer, he will delve more into that.
Superintendent, can you please come in there? The security aspect of those coming, because the big entourage, they have drumming and such things accompanying their candidates. What should they ensure?
Thank you very much, Madam Sani. For the security aspect on the day of the nomination, the Inspector General of Police with his senior management staff has already put everything in place to ensure that there is peace and tranquility on these 3 days of nomination and days after. For the day of the nomination, signal is already been sent to all regional police commissioners to ensure that there is adequate security arrangement at the regional offices to control the crowd and the traffic at the area. The public will observe that at some regional offices there will be a traffic diversion to ensure that those coming for the nomination and the people following them will have easy access to reach to the regional offices. As the Director of Communication for IEC rightly stated, those coming for the nomination will come with crowd, but the police are there to arrange them at an area where this crowd will be stopped and they will remain there until when the candidate enters the IEC premises, file his or her documents, then after the nomination, come out, meet them at where they were arranged, then move away with them. Basically, these are the security arrangements put in place for the day of the nomination.
So when they come with a candidate, after the nomination, they have to leave?
Immediately after the nomination, they should leave and give chance to others coming, because it doesn't mean it is only one candidate who is going to be nominated on this particular day, either on the 14th, 15th, or 16th.
Yeah.
Candidate comes, go, another candidate comes. This is how it is arranged.
Thank you very much. Simaha?
Maremu Noari Bernadette Sane, Ogara Kachala Mukubenu Kitata, Maremu Waka Kunyini, Kebegani Communication Director ngati AEC Kengani Jokoli, Agara Himbe Koereta Kenyani, Bidame Odoku Kachanubeno Ganya Kitana, Watini nomination in Kota Nibitabane. Nomination in Kota Peti Bitabane Saturday, iti Kita Wachansi Kinukubenu, Agananya Kamandan Kaiti Liti, Ankaiti Manyati Moronga, Ida Bitosi Kinanga, Kamala Wairini, in a Wakati Tanakinanga, in a nomination in the Bariti Moronga. Ati ite kadi birambe angana tunante kadi kubenu carte nunga sanko iti dingira no kuso ai simple la ko kaiti no kuwainonga ikama nunanda kai nanda kadi ikaiti nunga